Welcome back to another episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host Gungo Mildred, and I'm so happy that you're joining me on another Wednesday for another amazing episode. Just a disclaimer, if you hear noises in the background, understand that my neighbors are still up. It's way past midnight, but I think they just came home from work or something, because I can hear them talk and cook and move around in their house. So if you hear any noise in the background, just understand I have neighbors and I have to respect their their space. So I cannot knock on their door and tell them to keep quiet because I'm recording. So usually I record this part in most of the episodes that I do, but then when editing I have to delete that whole thing to cut it out, because I usually realize that I was hearing my neighbors, but then while I was recording, the microphone did not pick up the noises. So I usually end up deleting that entire part. But I think today I'm going to leave it just in case, because I can hear them talk and maybe the mic will pick it up. So yeah, forgive me if you do, but let's get into today's episode. So on today's episode, I'm going to be giving a review of a Nigerian dramedy, Chief Daddy. This movie apparently has a part 2, which I don't think is on Netflix because I haven't seen it. I'm not sure. I'll check it to see if it's on Netflix. If it's not, I can try and find a place where I can watch it so that I can give a review of the part 2 as well, for when I'll be doing the Nigerian movie again. So that is probably next month. So I'll try and find it. If I won't be able to, that's okay. We can always do it some other time. But yeah, it was an amazing movie. So go and watch it, okay? Chief Daddy is a 2018 Nigerian dramedy directed by Nii Akinmolayan, written by Bode Asiyanbi, directed by Nii Akinmolayan, and produced by Mosunmola Abudu and Temidayo Abudu. Forgive me if I say these names wrong, because I'm not Nigerian, I'm Kenyan, and some of these names are usually very, very tough for me to say, but I usually try and do my best. This movie was very, very star-studded. Not all, but most of my Nigerian favorite actors from back in the day were in this movie. Patience Ozoko was there, Nkem Owo was there, Richard Moffat Damijo, hey, was there, Mawuli Gava made a comeback, Ini Edo was there, Dakore Akande was there. I'm telling you, this movie, I really, really loved it. So please make sure and go and watch it. It was crazy and it was funny, but yeah, I love the cast. So I'm going to just go through them. The cast members include Mawuli Gava, he plays Damilare. Falz plays Femi Beecroft. Iniedo plays Ekanem. Funke Akindele plays Tinu Beecroft. Patience Ozoko plays Madam Pat. Nkem Owo plays Shofa Donatus. Kate Henshaw plays Tenny Beecroft. Shafi Bello plays Nike Williams. Dakore Akande plays Remy Castle. Bisola Ayaola plays Chef Simbi. Emai Abaga plays Mr. X. Beverly Naya plays Adaora. Richard Mofe Damijo plays Tega Castle. Beverly Osu plays Sandra Bello. Uti Nwachukwu plays Dare Edwards. Joke Silva, or is it Joke Silva? I've never known how to say this name. Plays Lady K. Beecroft. Rachel Oniga plays Auntie Ajoke. Zainab Balogun plays Ireti Beecroft. Damilare Kuku plays the event planner. Chioma Omerua plays Chuchu. Ayo Lijado plays Prelate or Prelate Malaki. Demi Bano plays Mr. Barnabas. Taiwo Obileye plays Chief Daddy, the main man. Lepashia's boss plays Madam Tasty. Nedu Wazobia plays Jorodi. amongst other cast members. I'm going to leave it at that because, as I said, it had a lot of people. It was so star-studded, like you can't even imagine. But they were an amazing group. I can't imagine how chaotic it was on set because they were mostly together most of the time. So something that I have to mention is that Mawuli Gava plays the love interest of Beverly Naya again. This is the second movie I've watched them together. The last one was 2 weeks in Lagos. They were lovers in that one too. So in this one they are as well. A little spoiler, okay? So yeah, I was glad to see them again. And I think Joke Silva also plays Mawuli's mom on 2 weeks in Lagos. Yeah. So it was sort of the same people. But I really enjoyed it, as I've said. So if you love spoilers like me, I'd urge you to continue with this. If you do not like spoilers, leave. Go to Netflix, watch the movie, then come back, listen to me, and tell me if you agree with me or if you do not, because this is your official spoiler alert. Chief Daddy centers around Chief Daddy's family. This is Chief Daddy is Mr. Beecroft. So he is the patriarch of this family and he's married to one Lady K. Beecroft. So they have a son that is Femi Beecroft. But besides Femi, Chief Daddy has other kids. He has two daughters from a previous marriage. That is Tenny Beecroft and Tinu Beecroft, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the sisters from the first wife who was cheated on by Chief Daddy and Lady K. Beecroft. So once she passed on, Lady K became the wife. And then he also has two little boys with Ekanem, and he has another daughter with, I believe it's Nike Williams. I'm not so sure. But yeah, he has another daughter with her. And then he has a son, the eldest now, Damilare Kofi. And he's not even, he wasn't raised in Nigeria. Nobody knew about him apart from his driver, because that is chauffeur Donatus. Because he used to drive him everywhere and he used to hear some conversations. So, and the lawyer, they also knew about him, but nobody else in the family knew about him. So the movie starts with Patience Ozuko, Madam Pat. The guard at the gate was sleeping on the job, and Madam Pat comes and slaps him. Like this movie, they slapped people. I didn't understand why. Why are you slapping your name, your staff? She slaps him, and she fires him. Madam Pat was like the housekeeper. So the boss of the staff or something like that. And she goes back into the house, checks in the kitchen, like everything is being made, people are cooking, blah blah blah, everything is happening. And then Chief Daddy arrives and she serves him, and he's there sat eating, and she's trying to get his attention on a couple of things. He talks on the phone to somebody, that is Damilare, but at the time we didn't know it was him. And on the other hand, his wife, Lady K, is at a salon calling Madam Pat as well, like, is everything okay as my son, blah, blah, blah. And so they talk. On the other side, Femi is a musician, or is trying to be a musician. I think he sings actually, but on this movie, he was trying his best to sound the worst way he could possibly sound. Because that jam that he was playing in the studio when the movie was beginning, it was terrible. Like he sounded off. So anyway, while he's there, he sings, and there's this guy who comes in. Apparently, he's famous and stuff. I think that's Mr. X. And he walks in, and Femi has his girlfriend there. She's a groupie. Like, her dancing was funny. And so she tells him, like, look who's here. And he goes and tries to talk to him. And how did you know I was here? How did you hear of me? And the guy goes like, I don't even know who you are. I just came to see my friend. And he asks, like, how did you find my song? He tells her that the song was whack. And it's true. It was terrible. But anyway, he leaves the place talking to his girlfriend, lying to his girlfriend, telling the girlfriend how, I think it's Mr. X, honestly, that he liked his music and he told him that he was doing a good job and stuff, which was totally a lie. He didn't like it. Nobody liked it. On the other side, the mom still at the salon, the dad in the house. After finishing the phone call, when you go back to him, he's sat on the chair and he's not moving. Outside, Lady Madam Pat is talking to chauffeur Donatus, trying to get him to drive her to the market because she wanted to go and pick some things. And he's like, no, I don't want, I'm not the general chauffeur, I'm the boss's chauffeur, so I cannot leave, I'm cleaning the car, blah, blah, blah. So she goes back inside to go and, report to Chief Daddy because chauffeur Donatus is refusing to take her to the market. And so she goes back in and they both start talking to him because Donatus follows her. And because he's like, you're going to report me and you're going to lie about me. So they go, both of them are talking, at the same time. And the guy is dead. So by the time they realize he's not moving, they carry him from the chair where he was sat at the dining table. They move him to the couch. And Donatus starts trying to perform CPR, which he called a different name. I don't remember what he said, but it was very, very crazy and funny. And so he starts like doing a terrible, terrible chest pump. And he asks Madam Pash to go and bring the first aid kit, and she does. She had her keys in her purse because she was about to leave. And it's weird because she was leaving with her keys, and the keys to the first aid box were in her purse. So while she's away, somebody gets into an accident or something, there's no way of accessing the first aid kit. And I just found that to be crazy as well. Like, there's a way you can do your job without being that crazy with it. So yeah, she tries to open and tries to give Donatus things that he did not want because he was looking for a mask, like to help him breathe, but that was not in the first aid kit. And so they eventually call his doctor, and the doctor is like, okay, do not move him, I'm coming back. And so he turns around, he was in his car, and when he tells his driver, like, we have to go back to Chief Daddy's home, the driver is like, but we've already passed the place, why are we going back? I was like, huh? How dare you? You are the chauffeur. Your boss tells you to go somewhere, you go. Even if you are there an hour ago, 10 minutes ago, you go back. You don't start questioning. But anyway, so they go back and he goes, examines him, and he, gives the news that, yeah, he's dead. So people start being called. Everybody, in a few minutes, the house is full. I don't know, sisters and I don't know, other co-wives and blah, blah. Everybody came. There were so many people in that house that it was crazy. The last person who gets to hear this from the immediate family is the wife, because she comes over and she's like, why didn't anybody tell me? Why am I hearing about my husband's passing, like, the last person? And so the son comes in, he's singing as well. And once he comes into the house singing his stupid song, people are looking at him and everybody's sad. And when he asks what's happening, he's told that your dad is dead. So the morning is passing, people keep coming in, people start discussing about the will and stuff, how much money they're going to spend on the funeral. And it was such a bad thing. And as much as I would want to be wealthy someday, these are the things that sometimes make me fear being wealthy. Like, yeah, fight after I'm gone. I don't care. As long as while I was alive, I took care of everybody and I took care of myself and I was happy and I never lacked anything. When I'm gone, as long as there's a will, I know everybody's going to be okay. But such kind of stupid fights, that's why people even plan their funeral. So that, there's none of this. But anyway, so all the wives come. And everybody sat there. The wife, Lady K, didn't want to be in that room because the lawyer is the one who's calling everybody, telling them you have to be at the house, Chief Daddy is dead. So everybody shows up and the lawyers, they are about to come. The lawyer is Richard Mofe-Damijo, who plays Tega Castle, and his wife is Dakoria Kande, Remy Castle. So they are husband and wife, but they're also lawyers. So they represent the family in the same situation. So he gets a call and he has to leave after offering his condolences to Lady K. And so Remy is the one who comes in and talks to the family. And she tells them that the chief wanted them to work together. So he had appointed for something for everybody. Like everybody had to do something for his funeral. And in that way, they're going to get close. And he had said that should they not cooperate with each other, the will not be read and it will be read after 70 years. Can you imagine? All of them, most of them will be dead. Or at least, like, they won't be able to enjoy the money. Because even the one in their 30s will be at 100 if they survive 70 years. So it's only the two little boys, that is Iniedo's children, that is Ekanem. They're the only ones who would have maybe made it to those 70 years. And so the fracas begins. Everybody has something to do. Everybody wants to do something and they want to get some money out of it. And it was just crazy. Like you have a budget for, instead of giving a budget for 10 million or something, they want to part it a little bit and do like 12 or 15, so that if there's extra they can put it in their pockets, because they don't want to leave the place without anything. It was crazy. But anyway, they organized their fights in between their wives and all of that. But then at the end, the funeral day comes, and at the funeral, these ladies were dancing. Like, it was, look, I come from the Maragoli community. We celebrate our dead. We have disco matanga, we dance overnight, we do what. So I understand celebrating a life well lived, or whatever kind of life. I understand celebrating life. So, but in this one, the dances that were happening as if it was like a birthday party or a wedding or something like that, because each one of these wives was doing something. And it was crazy. And Lady K was sat there and she was like, what is happening? The MC wasn't helping because he was calling all the other wives like the first wife or something like that, and just talking about them, saying all his wives are dancing and stuff. And all of these are mistresses. She's the only legitimate wife. And I think also there was another wife as well. I think Nikki Williams. She was also a wife because she proved that she was also married to him. She had a document to show that she was also married to him. Iniedo's character was just fine. Ekanem, she was like, yeah, Chief Daddy and how he was, so it's all right. During that funeral, Femi performs, and Ekanem is the one who helped him. I don't know what she did for him, because he went to ask her for advice, and she helped him somehow. So while he was singing, the song that he was singing was very, very not appropriate for that funeral. And the only person who was dancing was Ekanem. Everybody else was looking at him like, what are you singing? What are you doing? Do you understand that this is your dad's funeral? Like, people are behaving as if it wasn't a funeral at all. So eventually, Lady K gets so upset and she stands up and goes and takes the mic, and she starts yelling. We couldn't hear what she was saying because I think they muted the whole thing. And then the women start fighting on stage, like it was chaotic. But eventually they go back home. Everybody sat in their little corner, and then the next day they are packing and they're about to leave. They're packing suitcases into their cars and they're about to leave when the lawyer comes now, Tega Castle, and he's like, okay, everybody come in. We go through the will. So Chief Daddy left a sizable amount to each and every one of those people that was in that room, including Madam Pat, who was the housekeeper, and Chauffeur Donatas, who was his chauffeur. They were each left with 50 million naira. That is a lot of money, even if it's Nigerian nairas, but it's a lot of money still. So everybody was sorted. Nobody was left like with nothing. But then there was an addendum to the will, whereby there were these financial guys from the company, because the company was left to the first son, that is Damilari. He was supposed to manage everything to do with the family. Like, he was the head because he was the firstborn son. So he was supposed to be managing everything. But there's a catch to all of this. All of that money that these people have inherited was tied to the company going public. So the financial guys had come to talk to them about that. So they weren't going to get the money immediately. They were supposed to wait for, I think, 7, 8 or 9 months in order for them to be able to access that money. So Lady K just started laughing because, she inherited the house. The house was going to be hers, but Chief Daddy wanted them, all of them, to get along, and that's why he played all these tricks. So none of them got out of the house with any money. They had to wait until the company went public. And if it didn't go public, then that money would be lost just like that, or something to the effect. Like, it was just crazy. That's why I think the part two, I really need to watch part two because I'll know what happened next. But yeah, essentially, that was the whole story. Adaora, that is Beverly Naya, uh, and Damilare, they meet during that period. Adaora is Madam Pat's daughter. So she comes during the funeral, and Madam Pat, I think she did that intentionally. And so they met. They end up kissing at the end, actually, because their part was the last one. He was the one who's narrating the story, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's why we end the movie with them kissing, because not only did he find family, he also found somebody more important. And that was a good thing. So I don't know if they're still together in part two. I hope they are, so that I hope they delve more into the story, into their story, into their love story. But yeah, whatever way they go, it's going to be okay. But it was fun. It was so hilarious. Like, the chaos that all those people brought into that house, it was hilarious. But anyway, the final scene is of a woman arriving at the premise, and I think that is she's credited as the mystery visitor at the end. So she comes into the compound, gets out of her car, and she's checking out the house. So I'm sure part two is what tells us who she is and what she has come to do to the house, at the house. So I really hope that I find part two so that I can be able to watch it. But anyway, I'll urge you to go and watch it. I've only told like the top because a lot of it was shenanigans and chaos and all of that. I don't want to get into all of that. So go and watch it on Netflix and tell me what you think about it in the comment section down below. I loved everything about the movie. I especially love the characters. As I said, Patience Ozoko, Nkemo Wo, Mauli Gava, Joke Silva, Richard Mofe Damijo, Beverly Naya, Nakoria Kande. All these people are people that I love, 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 love. And Iniedo, yo, they were so amazing in this movie. So I loved all the characters. They are amazing artists. They're legends. And so you have to believe that they did an amazing job. The direction was good. Cinematography was good. Did they show any other parts apart from the home where they were? I don't think so, but Nigerian lifestyle is flashy. Music, I just remember that song that Femi kept singing, and I don't know, it wasn't the best, but that's the music that I kept hearing. So if they played any other, I don't really remember it. I'll give this movie a 6 out of 10 because it was just chaotic. Like, yeah, it moved and you could see what was happening and these people are doing blah blah blah, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10 just for the comedy. But it was so chaotic for me. It was fun, but also very, very chaotic. So, yeah, it wasn't like, wow, like it impacted me and stuff. It was just a good watch that you can watch anytime in the afternoon, even on a Sunday afternoon, because I think it's PG-13. Yeah, so it's a movie that you can watch in the afternoon with family after church and just sit down and watch it and enjoy it because it was funny. That one I'll give it. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that because there isn't much to say about it. As I said, there wasn't like a plot. Like, okay, the plot was there. We were to see how the family interacts with each other, but there isn't much to say about it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. So remember to go down below and comment with whatever remarks you have. If you agree with me, if you do not, tell me. As I've always said, say hi. Remember to please subscribe. Tafadhalini subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Remember that I have started a business. and I need your orders. If you live around Kasarani, Resambu, places that are easy to get to, if you want me to bring them to you in town, places that are around me. Because somebody asked me about the cupcakes, and he lives in At the River. There's no way I would take deliveries to At the River. That will be too far. I mean, it will be too costly for them. It's not that I don't want to, it's just that it will be too costly for them, because they'll have to pay for the delivery fee themselves. And At the River to Nairobi, like, even if it's a motorbike, especially if it's a motorbike, that's too much. Like, it's way too much. So people around me, Nairobi town, and Kasarani environs, Roysambu, Kasarani, Githurai, these places that won't cost me more than like 100 bob to go and come back. So make your orders. Remember to please do that. Tell your friends if you're far away. Tell your friends if you know any family member or friends who live around here. Tell them that Mildred has started a business. I'm calling it Mimi's Pastry Treats. And so let them call and order. DM me, text me, inbox me. I don't know, wherever you usually see me other than this platform. Tell me that, like, yeah, I need some things. I'm planning to get a number for the business, but my phone right now is a single SIM. And I'm not very sure that I want to give out my number, my personal number. So maybe I'll try and find a way to get a dual SIM phone and get a different line. And then I'll start giving out the number for the business so that people can make their orders through that. Okay. So until then, just DM, inbox, WhatsApp if you have my number and stuff like that, and I'll really, really appreciate it. Okay. So about the movie, about this video, remember to please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that whenever I upload a new episode, you're going to be amongst the first people to come and watch. Okay. Bye bye now. Love you.